Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a beautiful, beautiful Thursday with a little bit of rain that's cooling us off. That is so welcomed here. Glad to see everybody here. I do appreciate it. And again, great big good morning to you. Let's take a look at the SPY real quick. Then we'll take a look I've got 9 stock picks for today that we'll take a look at. The big thing for the SPY now for me is to push up over this area out of this box right in here. If the SPY can get up into this area, now if that's going to be the question here today, tomorrow. If we start to put in a sell signal here, I'm going to become very, very protective of my longs and any profits that I have in them. Extremely protective, just for fear that we may put in a little sell signal and see a little bit of a pullback. Nothing bearish. I just don't want to say take $1,000 trade and have it turn into a $500 trade just because the weight of the market is pushing us down a little bit. The news out there is still a little bit on the weak side. We do have some employment numbers coming out, so we'll see how that goes this morning. I noticed Steve wrote in there he's going to wait 15-30 minutes to see what the market does. I think that's what you wrote, Steve. I think that's a terrific idea to do that. Sit back, let's see how this market acts, and then go from there. Yesterday we did put in a nice little consolidation candle that complemented the day before, holding up over the 50 here, so it's looking pretty good. Okay, let's take a look at some PCX. I added PCX to the watch list this morning I put out in the announcements. PCX is not in there, and I added PCX to the watch list. PCX, nice little downtrend here. We're starting a pinball setup. I would look at something near the 34 exponential, or maybe this blue dotted line, which represents the 200 SMA on the 60-minute chart. That would be a nice percentage move for this. That's PCX. The next one, OCLR. OCLR has given us a rounded bottom breakout now. We've broken out over the big three, the 20, the 34, and the 50. The day before, we ran up and pulled back, still closing over the 50. Yesterday, a nice bullish candle that held over the 50. I'll look at buying on strength or even to the right, using that 50 area as a support area. So right in there as a support area or a stop area. So buying to the right or on a breakout on our rounded bottom. Our rounded bottom breakouts were underneath the 200 anyway. This specific strategy. I'm looking for the 200-day simple as the moving direction, and I'll look to trade it up near that area and then reevaluate from the 200 up. Next one on the list is AMRS. AMRS is one I currently own. Let's see here. Where is it? Currently 12% to the green in it. You can see where I had an original stop down in here, making a nice little J-hook formation coming from the bottom. Also a nice rounded bottom breakout on this J-hook formation. On a breakout today, that could send this up pretty nice and set us up for running up to that 200-day moving average. Now, of course, I never think the price is just going to let's see here. There we go. I never think price is just going to take off to the 200 like that. It's more than likely it's going to trade in somewhat of an angle like that, and then you'll get those ups and downs, the higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. That's what sets us up in a nice trend. Putting those the moving average resistance behind us, that could help that lift and get it up to the 200-day. Even up to this area right in here, we may start seeing a little consolidation, a swing up in there, and then a pullback. Man, that would be a terrific little profit target from this 443 if we can see a breakout to even $6 over the next several days would be nice. ALSK. ALSK is another one on the watch list. This is another rounded bottom breakout with a little J-hook type pattern. We have a little gap up, came up over the 34, just underneath the 200, a little bit of consolidation and pullback right to the 20, and now it's starting to move up. You can see we've come right up to these highs to match these highs. So breakout here would start sending us up a little bit higher, and I want to trade that one on strength or a little consolidation to the right hand side. AONE. AONE is one that I had yesterday, or I've had for several days. I sold it yesterday ahead of the Fed meeting just to be protective. I'm going to look to buy it back on any consolidation to the right or a breakout, looking for that 200-day moving average as our directional target. IDCC. IDCC is another one I sold ahead of the Fed meeting. Had it back in here, sold the first half on this big move, held it the previous day, held it yesterday morning, got rid of it ahead of the Fed meeting. I will buy this back on strength or consolidation. I'll look to start buying it back. This is another rounded bottom breakout. We're looking for a higher move, direction up to the 200-day moving average. Let's see. You can see here if it starts breaking out, then we start moving up into some of these higher numbers and taking on some of this chart over here to the left. GBX. GBX is another one I would be looking at. We're coming from a double bottom down here, rallied up, a little bit of a pullback, good consolidation, and then it took off over the 50. A doji candle yesterday. On strength, I would certainly look at buying this or anything to the right, and look at the 50, yesterday's low, as a stop area. FOE. FOE. Another one coming off the bottom. Another one, let's see, we're pretty close. Well, one might argue a double bottom here. Certainly trying to put in that bottom. Up, nice little rounded. Let's see, we've got this gap up, then we did a little bit of consolidation, nice little move to the upside, took out the 50 day before yesterday, held very good yesterday. Now we're looking for that continued strength, moving up like, in somewhat of an angle. Again, never think that price is just going to go from here straight up. Price is most likely do something like this, and then what we want to do is trade those swings in and out, or if you're a swing trader, hold it as long as it continues to work. One way to watch that is if you lay a line just underneath the T line. That kind of gives you a forecast of what you're looking for, and if this chart starts breaking that forecast, moving below it, then you know you need to be out of it. If it stays within that forecast, then you want to stay with it. Using the T-line as a guideline. And I'm just taking the direction of the T-line now and just kind of extending it. As it moves up or a little bit sideways or a little bit down, the T-line will shift. We'll have to adjust this just a little bit just to keep it in tune there with the T-line, and then that might make for a good guideline. The last one I have here is I'm sorry, we'll try that again. MNKD. Bullish engulf yesterday. Break out of the 50, the 34, the 20. We've come above the big three. This is one I would look for a higher move, especially if we can get above the $2.10 mark. I think that would send us up a little bit higher. Keep in mind, nothing goes straight up. You can see it right here. We have a low, a high, higher low. It pulls back, creates a higher low, and then it moves up. You can see the consolidation, and now it's trying to move up again. So we want to trade the nice charts that's starting to take off, or very nice trending charts. One thing I want to take a look at also, or just be a reminder of that if we start seeing weakness, don't be afraid to look at some of those inverse. I think some folks, well, I saw some shorts put out there this morning. Gigi put some short. Konar put a couple shorts. So we'll be looking, in case we do see the market turn weak, we'll be looking for the shorts and the inverse there. Thanks again. I'm going to run off and get some coffee now. Be right back.